Ladies and gentlemen, this is a story that came out today, September 11th, 2018. You would think if you are in the profession as a teacher or cop or, where you're serving the public or, you're working in the public, you would refrain from having rants about race online. I mean, what do you think these things are never going to come out? They always do. But every single year, we see these teachers go on social media and just spill out this racial rant, and it makes no sense. Now, this is a high school teacher. She's 33 years old, and she's a bad looking 33, but we'll get into the article. Stop acting like animals. Louisiana high school teacher posts racist rant in reply to Kaepernick ad. Does this woman look like she need to talk about somebody being an animal? Oh my God. Valerie Scoggin isn't the first teacher in America to have a racist response to Colin Kaepernick's powerful Nike ad. And given the current landscape, it's unlikely she'll be the last. Last week, the internet was up in arms over the principal at J.H. McGoggin School, elementary school in California, who posted a picture of a torn up Nike shirt and referred to Kaepernick as an anti-American thug. But Scoggin, a 33-year-old math teacher at Slidell High School in Louisiana, took the racist remark a step further, invoking both slavery and animal comparisons. Let's go back and look at this woman again. Okay. They don't have to live in that country. They could go back, Scoggin wrote in her since deleted post, which was captured by The Root. They could go back, but it was their own people selling them into slavery and tearing them even worse in those countries of origins. Okay. See, this is why y'all have to get your kids out of school. Okay. She's only there to indoctrinate your kids into accepting the way things are in this country. And, this makes me laugh. Even if they sold us in Africa, you didn't have to buy them. You didn't have to buy any slave over in Africa. You act like the seller is worse than the person that bought the slave. Okay? No, they are not. Okay? And this fat, slobbery woman needs to get out and get some exercise in. And she looks atrocious. Okay? Number two, you don't get to order Black people out of this country. Okay? Y'all need to hang that up. I have never heard one white person in my life say, go back to Africa, and that person ran home and packed their bags and boarded a plane back to Africa. It ain't gonna happen. And if it does happen, it'll happen on our terms. And I'll tell you what, ain't leaving empty-handed, y'all. So if you want me gone, set up a GoFundMe, raise approximately $5 million. And I promise you, I'll get off of the internet. I'll go to Africa and you won't hear a peep out of me again. So if you can get that set up and raise the money, I'm out of here. Lisa Cabrera will officially be off of YouTube and the internet forever. But going back empty-handed, ain't an option. Ain't happening. Okay. You have no right to order anybody out of this country. Period. That is not your right. If that's the case, let's order you out the country. We did all the work. History says we did all the work while you sat around and did nothing. They could go back. Well, you can go back. You can go back to your country of origin. And we know about the dark ages of Europe. So if you want to talk about even worse in those countries, what was even worse in Europe? Y'all went through the dark ages and couldn't get yourself out of it. Okay. I know you're trying to wipe out that 1,000 years of history. I guess you just didn't do a good enough job scrubbing, because we still know about the dark ages. After falsely representing slavery, Scoggin went on to suggest Black people who disagree with practices in America simply move. Well, you get the hell out. You move. You don't get to tell us where we need to go. Again, overstepping your boundaries. And ladies and gentlemen, they have nothing new to say. Do you know they were walking up to the slaves on the field 500 years back and telling them to go back to Africa? This just go to show you they have no new original thought. They're still saying the same thing to Black people from frickin' chattel slavery centuries ago. They used to do that back during, they walk up to the slave and say, well, if you don't like it, you go back. That they were saying that during chattel slavery. So as you can see, centuries later, they still don't have a damn original thought. They're still using the same thing from centuries ago. All right, moving on. Want a better neighborhood? Move. Well, you move. You move. Y'all came from caves. You move. You don't have to choose to live in those zip codes, she wrote. Want to not be stereotyped? Tell people of that color to quit acting like animals and perpetuating the stereotype. We're not. We're not. All of the stigmas that's on us, you put it on us. And we can go back in history and find the whole timeline of it. When we were in chattel slavery, as soon as we left the plantation, you came up with the 13th Amendment and called all of us criminals. We can piece the whole thing back together. We even got your history of what you were like after the Civil War. Y'all were poor in the South. You were destitute. You were on drugs. And you were committing all kinds of suicide down in the South. You couldn't even build the South up. You had to get Black men in the convict lease program, and those Black men that you conveniently let go from chattel slavery and threw them back into prison to build up the South. You didn't build up the South. You weren't in no shape to build it up. Again, history, they will conveniently skip over because it don't make them look favorable. Scoggins' post ends by suggesting Black people quit voting for handouts and pay taxes. You know what? Those of you that are down in Louisiana, y'all need to get this teacher out. You need to get her fired. She works at Slidell High School. That place should be flooded with phone calls, and people need to be calling for the removal of this teacher. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the kind of animal they let into our communities to teach your child. I wonder how many of her students are Black, and how many that she have done them wrong and give them grades lower than what they should do. That's what teachers like this do in the community. She'll give them grades that are lower than what they deserve. While Slidell High School did not respond to Yahoo's lifestyle requests for comment, a spokesperson from the school has confirmed to the media that disciplinary action has been taken. The posting was voluntarily removed. Spokeswoman Meredith Mendez told the New Orleans Advocate, the appropriate disciplinary action has been taken. I cannot comment further. She needs to be fired. She needs to be fired. She does not need to be in any school teaching anywhere. But this is what you're packing your kids up and sending them to school to. Somebody like her. And I've been around teachers like her. I have. I remember many like her when I was going to school. She's one of many. But her purpose is only for one thing, to make sure your child never catch up to their child, and to sabotage them and keep them under white supremacy and make sure they know that whites are on top and Blacks are on the bottom. That's the only purpose of this white female being in the Black community teaching. She doesn't have any other purpose. She's not there for no other reason. Please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I will see you on the next video. Peace, family.